leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Saying that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports.
Hey, first in the building, Samuel is on deck, man. Salute to you, brother. One love, man. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Gumbo, a.k.a. Hot Grease in the building. Salute, WCS, my big bro. What's good with it? Salute to you, man. Good to see you on deck. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? May all is well. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know what it is, man. We back at it with another one. Carlos in the building on deck. WCS, salute to you, brother. Nothing surprised me anymore when it comes to boxing. The powers that be have who they want to keep the money coming in. Well, hold that thought, Carlos. Hold that thought, shawty. You know what I'm saying? Hold that thought, because you know what I'm saying, as much as we criticize some of these fighters for how they pick up their titles, this is quite interesting in how Gervonta Davis responded to the WBA. We're gonna get down to it though. 100 was good. Fighters are supposed to fight for vacant belts, not given belts via email and elevated status. I hate it. I understand where you at with it, man. It seems like that's normality now, huh? That's protocol now. It seems like they just giving fighters belts because they struggling to get big names, you know what I'm saying, to make this money or something like that. They're just giving fighters belts, But let's talk about Gervonta Davis, man. At the end of the day, he's 29 victories and 0 defeats, 27 knockouts. I call him Mr. El Chin Checker himself. You know what I'm saying? Baltimore's own, southpaw, 29 years of age, 3-weight division champion, man. Y'all already know what it is with Tank. He's the WBA regular lightweight titleist. When he initially moved up to face Yorkis Gamboa, he won. That was for the WBA regular title, vacant. He didn't defend it immediately. He moved down to 130 and fought Leo Santa Cruz in one of the most devastating KOs you'll ever see with your God-gifted pupils. You know what I'm saying? As clear as your pupils can get, that's one of the most brutal knockouts you'll see. Then he skipped over 135 in his next fight after Leo Santa Cruz and fought Mario Barrios. That was for a WBA regular title. Stopped him. And then he would move back down to 135 and defend his title that he had. So recently, the news has broken. I'm pretty sure everyone's been tuned in. I'm pretty sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit up here and question your integrity as if you don't know. But let me just read you a little article in case you didn't. Let me read you a little article, because we do have articles. News has broken. Devin Haney relinquishes all ALL lightweight belts ahead of Regis Prograis' WBC 140-pound title challenge, y'all. He has relinquished all his belts at the 135-pound lightweight division. All right? Haney informed ESPN.com Mike Coppinger of the decision to relinquish the WBA, IBF, and WBO titles he claimed last June. The move come as Las Vegas Haney, 30-0, 15 knockouts, will challenge WBC Junior welterweight titleist Regis Prograis on December 9th at the Chase Center. All right? So, they say the sanctioning bodies began prodding the 25-year-old of his future title status earlier this summer. First was the WBO, who checked in to see if Haney will move up to junior welterweight to potentially challenge lineal and WBO 140-pound king Teofimo Lopez. Haney was then on the clock with the WBC, who ordered a mandatory title defense versus unbeaten Shakur Stevenson. All right? and you're talking about prodding. They was prodding. You know what I'm saying? They was out for that action. We're trying to see what was going on with him. They wasn't just going to let him sit down there without facing the top names, right? And then it speaks of Haney informed the WBC of his decision to instead challenge for the 147-pound belt, at which point he was downgraded to champion in recess at lightweight. Okay? Just in case y'all didn't know that. Stevenson won the vacant WBC 135-pound title in a 12-round unanimous decision victory over Edwin De Los Santos November 16. Haney held the WBA super title, which will be removed from existence per the organization's ongoing title reduction policy. Baltimore-bred knockout artist and boxing superstar Gervonta Davis will convert his regular title into a WBA full belt at the weight. And this leads us to where I'm at right now with this, okay? Because like a lot of people, like your Denis Ugas receiving his WBA title like that, you know, recently Ennis receiving his IBF title, Devin Haney back in the day receiving his WBC title. It's been, you know, several fighters who was elevated, so to speak. And the WBA is attempting to restructure their policy and phase out the WBA regular title. I've been hearing this for quite some time. Let's see, once, you know, being that Gervonta Davis is elevated now, let's see if they no longer allow a fighter to fight for the WBA regular title at lightweight division. You know, because they said they was going to do away with the policies. But then, you know, you have David Morrell sitting over there at 168 as the WBA regular titleist. They're not going to strip him anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they stripping him anytime soon. And I just want to see how all this is going to play out, how they're going to eliminate the title. But back to Tank. Tank is now elevated to the WBA super lightweight champion. But I'm going to tell you like this. He didn't respond as many fighters did. Some fighters don't respond at all. But we're talking about Gervonta Tank Davis now. You know what I'm saying? Word in which he probably knew. People was hitting his people up. You know what I'm saying? Letting them know that, hey, this was going on with Devin Haney. You was going to be elevated. Gervonta Davis sent out a scathing tweet, so to speak. He sent out a text. And I haven't heard any of these fighters even do this. I've seen Teofimo Lopez go against the grain. I have. His response was worse. You know what I'm saying? But Gervonta let it be known. He said, I don't want that shit. Ooh. Goddamn, Gervonta just goddamn came in there with the Molotov cocktail. He said, I don't want that shit. He's putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? Look, the one reason that I just don't jump up and say, it's cap with Tank Davis is because he's been making money doing it his way. He's been making money as a WBA regular titleist. It don't matter. He's been making money without, being a super titleist and proving a belt basically confirms or validates who he is as a fighter. He hasn't cared. He hasn't freaking cared, yo. And for him to send this out the way he did is hilarious, man. Because he said, I don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've had a back and forth verbal exchange between Devin Haney and Ring Magazine. They pretty much said, you have a problem, with the Ring Magazine, send it back to us in the mail. You know what I'm saying? I mean, fighters have been having exchanges with these sanctioned bodies sometime, but it's not like they really reply to anything. It's not like the sanctioning body say, okay, Tank sent this text out and he said, I don't want that shit. We're going to have somebody else fight for it. You just can't do it. You just can't have somebody. You pick two people, you select two fighters to fight for the title instead of Tank, and they're ranked above him. Now you're going to set it up to the point where he's going to be in line to fight them. And that's going to make you look even more disorganized and just, doing stuff off the cuff. So Tank can sit up here and say what he want, but, they still going to elevate him to super champion. And, Tank in that division right now, he's number one in that division. He's been number one in that division for quite some time. Period. No matter what nobody say, he's number one in the lightweight division. And, people are saying he's not higher on the pound for pound list because of individuals on his resume. But once again, we have yet to establish a set of papers, docs, something that confirms the criteria of being on the pound for pound list. We don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how they shift and reposition fighters on the pound for pound list. So with Davis picking up this title, this WBA title, I don't think it's going to move him any higher on the pound for pound list because he hasn't fought. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this is going to elevate him any way, shape, or form higher than what he already is at the lightweight division. I'm just being honest. Now, people are looking at this like, well, hey, WCS, I'm looking for you to criticize him like you did Gervonta Davis. Okay. In my defense, to those who have already, felt the need to get on the keyboard, I would say this. It's a difference in my opinion. It's just a difference. It's a difference for someone that's being given a championship belt based off paperwork of a fighter that they knew they weren't going to fight, and they received it administratively. You know what I'm saying? You are considered an administrative champion at the time because your belt was sent to you from documents that were submitted with a dead end approval, and due to default, you were submitted a belt without challenging the current champion. This particular champion and Devin Haney vacated the titles. You know what I'm saying? They didn't strip Devin Haney of the WBA title and then elevate Gervonta Davis. He vacated the titles. So with that said, right, because Terrence Crawford did not vacate the title, he was stripped, vacated the title, and Tank was next in line for quite some time now. They pretty much promoted him to the WBA title list. I see that as a significant difference in how that whole process worked. That's just me, y'all. It's a significant difference in how that whole process worked. Real talk. Just like when I criticized Shadina Ugas. I said, yeah, Ugas was elevated to WBA champion, but they put Manny Pacquiao with a champion in recess, and he didn't meet any of the policy requirements. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to finagle and maneuver some names to make this belt stay close enough to get the fight that they wanted. And you know, at the time, you know, they wanted Spence to fight Pacquiao and all that. That shit fell out. Manny Pacquiao, you know, he was put in recess, and they elevated Yordenis Ugas, and then came around. Ugas ended up fighting Pacquiao. Pacquiao lost, and then Ugas ended up fighting Spence. You know what I'm saying? That's, in my opinion, that's different. Because initially, I forgot to mention, Yordenis Ugas was elevated into that position because Vesputin popped positive. He popped dirty. Okay? So they moved Ugas up there. And that's how that whole other process played out. You know what I'm saying? And whatever the case was and shit, they moved him to WBA, regular, and all this other shit with Manny Pacquiao being in recess. It can get confusing, bro. It can get real confusing. But this is right here is pretty cut and dry. You know what I'm saying? Tank has been in this position for quite some time. Devin Haney vacated the titles. He was forced to vacate, rather. And then, you know, Gervonta was elevated. It wasn't like Gervonta has never been a world champion, nor do anybody believe that he wasn't warranted. You know, it's almost like transparent. Like, people not going to look at Tank as being somebody that's undeserving of that title. That's not it. It ain't going to happen, bro. I mean, he's a 3-weight world champion. He's been in some big money fights already. So, I mean, this is totally different, people. Don't get too butthurt over it. Don't get too butthurt over it. That's all I'm saying. A new PBC Prime Video champion, Gervonta Davis. Haney isn't beating Regis. I got 100 on Regis. Dang, Gumbo coming in here with the heat. Dang, Haney isn't beating Regis. I got 100 on Regis. Wow. Tank is a real one. He doesn't want it. Not like Boots celebrating email belts like he's a true champion. Yeah, Tank put it out there like, no, I don't want that shit. Hey, it doesn't get any stinging. You know, it doesn't sting any worse than that, right? He basically saying, I don't want that shit. He said, your belt don't mean nothing to me. I can get along well just without it. I ain't worried about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the OG Lisa Bells on deck. What's good with I Can't See You? As always, somebody, you know, shout out to Tyrese, man. Salute to you. One love to everybody that's in the chat. Mr. International Toby Bartlett, what's good? Salute WCS and the hottest chat in the YTC. We're global, baby. We're global. Yes, sir. We're global. We're talking about freaking Gervonta and his response to shoot down the domesticated sanctioning body of the WBA. The WBA said immediately after Devin Haney vacated his titles, they was going to elevate Tank, and Tank said, I don't want that shit. I don't want that shit. Now, it's different. It's different than Tank not wanting the belt, than people just sitting up here gloating. You know what I'm saying? And being and feeling good with the enjoyment, you know, that they receiving the belt this way. But Tank said, I don't want it because I'm making money without it. I don't need it. It's not going to do anything for me, bro. At the end of the day, I'm trying to damn make money to support my family when I end up hanging up the gloves in this bitch. That's what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make the money. You can say what you want, but at the end of the day, you know, Gervonta is going to be a future Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? It's so much other achievements or accolades or shit that you can insert in somebody's portfolio to get into the Hall of Fame. But that's neither here nor there. This is about the WBA title. Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. What's good with it? Go, how you feeling? I respect Gervonta for saying he didn't want it because he wants to earn the belts. Well, that's what I get from the Tank comment. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Mr. Golden, the OG. What it do, man? I see you. What's good, man? Hope all is well your way. And you staying out them strip clubs, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that back, man. Stay in them, man. Just as long as you know when to leave, man. Don't be falling asleep in the parking lot and shit. You know, talking about, can you take me home? I live right up the street. And before we get there, can we just stop for some breakfast right quick? Don't do them like that. That Mr. Golden. Don't do them like that. Tank knew what kind of BS was going to come behind this shit. Yeah, for sure. I think Tank in general, his mindset is really genuine about that. He don't need belts to get him into a position to make money. Come on, man. The amount of money that he made with Ryan Garcia, with the belt he had, and Ryan had no belts. Come on, man. Come on, that's level changing right there. That's level changing. Look, Gervonta continued the fight in the shadows, so to speak. Like, a lot of people don't look at him as the model citizen in boxing like they do with Canelo. But Canelo is not perfect. Canelo pop positive. You know what I'm saying? Canelo's pop positive. But Tank has lost his belt on the scales from weight at 130 and shit like that. But I'm just saying, you know, Tank continued to goddamn drop that ammunition under the bright lights. And people continue to see him fight. So when the WBA want to present him with a freaking gift, he said, I don't need it, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't come with no money. It don't come with no monetary goddamn gift certificates or money orders or pre-written checks. You know, for me, all you doing is you sending me a belt that I got to pay sanction fees for. I'm trying to make money, not spend money on something that's not going to benefit me. Appreciate that, bro. WCS hardest working man on YT. Can I have a job? Man, hey. If this was a job, man, then I'll say, hey, man, come on board. But you know how it goes, man. Didn't Deontay Wilder tell the WBC to stick the franchise belt? He didn't want it to. But fair play to Tank for keeping it 100. Yeah, those of you that was back there at that time, Toby, I'm the one that asked him that while they was having fight camp. I asked him that doing an interview, a media scrum rather, and I was the first one to present that to Deontay about the franchise belt. You know what I'm saying? In person. And he said he didn't want that because why would he do that? If you dare to be champion, you dare to be champion, and you fight all challengers. I respected that. That's one of the reasons why I respect him as a person. No matter, you know, what people think about him. Like, all the shit they say is what they say. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't seen it. But as a fighter, as a man, you know what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're saying, Ocho. I really don't. I don't know what you mean by that. Real talk. I mean, Devin Haney didn't give him anything. So I don't know what direction you're going with. Nobody wants this, that, and the other, but it makes no sense what you're saying because nobody gave Gervonta. That's coming from the sanctioning body. Truth be told, that's coming from the sanctioning body. But let me read what Michael Benson said. Gervonta Davis now looks set to become the WBA lightweight world champion and a legitimate two-weight world champion, as he will likely be upgraded from WBA regular belt holder after Devin Haney vacated all his lightweight world titles. Now, the one thing Michael Benson has to understand is that you report on boxing. So there's little specifics, rules and guidelines for every sanctioning body. You saying he will become a legitimate two-weight world champion, but the WBA regular title is considered a championship title. So you can emphasize all you want to say, well, he needs to win super titles to be considered a three-weight world champion. So now he's being elevated without fighting anybody, and he gets a belt from the sanctioned body. He's a legitimate two-weight world champion now. The same belt that he went in there and made all these fights and all this, you know what I'm saying, and made this money, you can't exclude it now. You can't sit up here and say, well, 140, he didn't earn a belt with Mario Barrios, and it's the same belt that he has at 135. And all the money he's been able to earn at 135, you're trying to say, oh, since he's now being promoted to WBA super titleist, it erases everything else before that. So you're taking a little shot at Tank to say now he's become a legitimate. There's no such legitimate, because when they say 3-division world champion, when they introduce the fighters in the ring, that's what you are, a 3-division champion. So you guys, come on and try to damn throw little bullets in here and there. It's not going to work, because you got to get mad at the sanctioned bodies for basically putting that tag on their titles, because they was the one benefiting from having all these fucking titles and the sanctioning fees and everything. So you can't come out here for something that the sanctioned bodies created and turn around and say now he becomes a legitimate 2-weight world champion. He's a 3-weight world champion because these sanctioned bodies put belts out there to him for fighters like Tank and many others to fight for the WBA regular title, and no one stopped it. So you can't get up here just because, you know what I'm saying, it's the same sanctioning body, and say somebody becoming a 2-weight world champion. I mean, you're giving out false information. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to deceive people a bit. You're trying to have people talk about something that really doesn't need any conversation. What people don't get in the Hall of Fame, and people don't have their accolades introduced, in the ring, and they don't say legitimate two world. That's not the way it goes. So I don't know what type of time Michael Benson was on, you know what I'm saying, with this legitimate 2-weight world champion. But they need to stop making about them and getting personal when they don't really have no freaking they don't have no position, they don't have no authority. You know what I'm saying? They're not in there voting for anything. None of that shit. But they'll put characters to motherfucking to digital format and send out a tweet and say some shit like this. It just irked me a little bit, because now you're trying to have people think that no, he's not legitimate 3-weight world champion when he is, all because the sanctioned bodies put out all these fucking belts, and you can be considered a world champion in WBA if you're a regular champion. But he's trying to act like, oh, now Tank is a 2-division champion now. That's not what his freaking resume said. His resume says he's a freaking 3-weight world champion. You know what I'm saying? So deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Just deal with it. Don't be out here trying to put your own spin on shit like you're the proven authority. Send a tweet out to the WBA and tell them to stop talking about removing this Reggie belt from their policies, and do it. Do it. They don't want to do it because they still got fighters in places that's going to fight, and they're going to have to pay that damn 3% sanctioning fee. That's why they're not going to strip them. They're not going to strip David Morrell. They're not going to strip him, man. Matter of fact, WBA regular champion Mahmoud Char. All right, 160. I think it's, well, I already mentioned Dave Morrell, 160 pounds. Okay, they did away with that. Got the interim. Okay. Stantionis at 147 pounds. It's a WBA regular title holder. Gervonta Davis is now being elevated. He was the former WBA regular title holder at 135. I wonder why they haven't put Lamont Roach as champion yet. He's the WBA champion. I wonder why they haven't put him up there yet. The WBA Super Champion 126 is vacant. So if they keep it as they have it right now, it's only about 3 divisions. I'll say 4. You have middleweight, middle flyweight. Eric Rosa is a Reggie holder. Okay, so if they keep policing that, and get around to what they're gonna do with Stanthionis, and then David Morrell, and of course the one I just mentioned, you know what I'm saying, and Char, that'll be it. If they don't allow any other fighters to become WBA regular champions, they got like 3 or 4 active champions right now, WBA regular. Let's see how it works out. Shout out to Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz Moore. What's good with OG? How you feeling? If your WBA are disposing of the regular, Tank don't want the title because it would mean he will have to fight top-rated opponents. Tank would rather continue to fight cab drivers. I mean, if that's what you think, to be totally honest with you, when you say cab drivers, right? Name some cab drivers, some actually cab drivers on Tank's resume as we speak. Because he just got out the ring with Ryan Garcia. Is Ryan Garcia a cab driver? He fought Hector Luis Garcia, a champion in 130, who just lost to Lamont Roach. Is Hector Garcia a cab driver when he fought Tank? Rolando Romero. Even Rolly. Is Rolly a cab driver? No, he probably couldn't find his way to the next destination. He's not a cab driver, bro. Isak Cruz. Isak Cruz is not a cab driver. And this is December 2021. Mario Barrios, El Azteca. He's not a cab driver, bro. Fought him in June 2021. Leah Santa Cruz, multi-division world champion. December 2019. Leah Santa Cruz is not a cab driver. That's a future Hall of Famer right there, bro. Yukis Gamboa, December 2019. His first fight at 135. He is not a cab driver. I'm just saying, what do you mean by cab drivers? Y'all just come in here and put stuff in the chat, and I get it, man. Hey, talk your shit, whatever. But what do you mean by cab drivers? Who are you talking about that's a cab driver, bro? Y'all just think it's easy to go in there and just beat these guys. Some fighters make it look easy. But y'all acting like Tank is a bum. Like he can't fight. Tank ain't no Ryan Garcia. I mean, the dude hit Ryan Garcia with a left hand. He got up. You didn't see Tank eyes just go, oh my God, he got up from a left hand. Damn, I wasn't expecting that. But he damn broke him down to the body, man, and goddamn stopped him with something different. Man, y'all sleep on Tank because you think he's an easy target, but it's all good. Talk your shit, man. Whatever, bro. I don't know the cab drivers you're talking about. At least it doesn't seem like Tank likes the idea of mandatories. Hey, y'all may be right that Tank don't like mandatories. But his whole selection process, if he chooses to, tread on it at his own speed and make the money he's making, he has to be doing something right. He has to be being moved accordingly. He's making millions. Are y'all listening? Did y'all see Mike Tyson when they did an interview with him with all those belts on the table? And he said, they're nothing. They're nothing. The titles are nothing. I fight for the titles. It's nothing. I'd rather make the money. I'll make the money at any time, any given day. I mean, I'm telling you, the money is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? These titles are nothing. I mean, Mike Tyson said the titles aren't nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't mean nothing. It's the money that counts, because the money is going to take you further than any title will sitting in there collecting dust. You know what I'm saying? Over at Crawford Mama's house. He said them titles over there collecting dust. But what ain't collecting dust is the millions that he got in the goddamn bank. Those numbers ain't collecting dust, bro. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you, Bruce. Those, now I get that it's good to build up your legacy with championships, but really, if you look at the economy and how things have changed and how much more expensive it is, all around the board, man. We saw what happened during the pandemic. You know, some fighters are just committing to getting fights for money. And yes, with a title, for some fighters, it does elevate your paycheck. Yes, sir. Or if you're able to increase your popularity and take advantage of that, then you're talking about something else. But yeah, man, that's where we at. You know, like everybody's going to have their opinion. I get it. But Tank is making millions on top of millions. And he don't have a whole entire cachet of belts at the lightweight division. He don't, bro. Yeah. But B-Hop a legend too, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you get older, some of the younger cats, man, they, you know, everybody ain't gonna like everybody. That's all I'm saying. Everybody ain't gonna never like everybody. So when it comes down to these fighters going to certain fighters in different regions, hey, you never know, man. I mean, some of them got ultimate respect, some of them don't. Jones on deck, I see you. What's good? What's good? Turkeys in your yard? I think I know what you're talking about. This is unbelievable. Will look like Tank fell into this one. No, Tank didn't fall into this one. I know what you're getting at, Jones. He was just minding his own business with this one. You know what I'm saying? You know how FedEx come to your door, ring the doorbell, and walk away? That's pretty much what it was with Tank. I mean, he didn't fall into nothing. You know, and when he found out he was getting the belt, he said, man, I don't want that shit. Tank said, I don't want that shit, man. What y'all trying to do? Y'all trying to get them to come at me and think I'm an email champion? I don't want that. Because he has been on record as calling out specific fighters for getting a belt via email. So definitely he don't want to be a part of that by default. So he's going to put this tweet out and say, I don't want that shit, period. Don't have them motherfuckers trying to come up here and talk shit about me like I accepted that shit with open arms. Rocco said Rolly's a cab driver. I can't really debate with you on that, man. Real talk. I can't even freaking forcibly debate with you. Even on a Thursday, dog, I can't do it to me. I can't do it to myself, bro. I can't sit up here and attempt to defend that comment. You know what I'm saying? Because it may be a percentage of truth to that. You know what I'm saying? Cambosis and Loma are going to fight for the vacant strap. We might actually see Tank versus Loma in the future. Man, they need to hurry up. Loma's getting older, bro. Loma did 2 stints in the Olympics. Loma's getting older. He's already a future Hall of Famer. Man, come on. He's the golden child of boxing. They keep that man on the ring pound for pound list with no belts at all. I swear to God, man. I really don't want to see no Tank and no Lomachenko. Teofimo's already beat him. Devin Haney has already beat him. Why do we want to see this fight, bro? Gervonta Davis and Loma. Who cares? I don't want to see that man fight Tank. We already seen 2 technically proficient boxers in the same division defeat Lomachenko. This man has 3 defeats. 2 of those defeats came in the lightweight division. Come on, man. I don't want to see it, Blunts. I'm just being honest, brother. I don't want to see that fight. It does nothing for me. I'd rather see Tank versus Shakur Stevenson when you're talking about youthfulness. You know, just anybody else that's in the lightweight division that's coming up that want that smoke with Tank. Not Lomachenko, bro. Not Lomachenko. He's lost to fighters who's younger than him. Even though Gervonta Davis gets a little bit closer to the 30 range, still, I think he gives him problems, man. Seriously, I do. Titles do sell fights, though. It do. Titles do sell fights. It's according to the fighter, though, because there's some champions out there who no one really knows about, like Subriel Matias. He's been having that gas tank, that engine. He's been running on that type of fuel for a while. And people see him go up there and beat up Ergashev, a fighter that, the casual boxing fans may not have known about. And now his name is just now coming out as if he's just being recognized and spotted. Now they have him on the radar. No, he's been fighting like that for a while, bro. You know what I'm saying? With him and Maxim Dedashev, he was beating up Dedashev before Buddy McGirt stopped the fight. He went into a coma and later died. Matias has been that dude, man. He's had that engine. He runs on all freaking cylinders. You know what I'm saying? He runs on all cylinders. It all depends on before y'all get crazy. But I'm just saying, he was out there. He was putting in work. No one really knew who he was because they didn't try to figure it out. Now he has a title or whatever. Let's see if he get the big fights. I don't know if because he speaks a little English or whatever the case may be, but hey, we'll see how we'll see how that works. We'll see how that works. And I look at it like this too, Bruce. Jamel Charlo, for instance, did he really benefit off a fight in his division that paid him well? Like, can he say he had a Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia moment as that? Can he say he had a Crawford Spence moment with the titles? I don't think he can. I think he fought Jason Rosario and Brian Castaño twice, and he never defended his titles, which I'm not really knocking for that. But he was out, got his WBO taken, vacated the IBF. He really didn't benefit from the titles. It's just me. He just didn't benefit. Even when he was a WBC champion before Tony Harrison took it, he didn't benefit from the titles really, except placement in the division. As far as money goes, I don't see what he benefited from. I don't see. That's exactly what I was thinking, fam. I started laughing when I saw this. I was like, how he gonna deal with calling himself an email champ? Yeah, he ain't gonna try to play that game with nobody. They can say, don't play that shit with me. I ain't no email champ. Look, Tank gonna say, I didn't ask for that shit. I didn't ask for that. Shit, don't come over here talking about I'm an email champ, man. I ain't asked for that. Because he know it's coming. Because he's been on record saying Devin Haney was an email champ. So he know it's coming. We want to see it because Tank gonna knock his old ass out. Sometimes T.O. and Devin couldn't do it. Okay. I see where you're going. You don't want to see the knockout. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And I think at that time, if you're talking about them fighting in 25? You know what I'm saying? Possibly 2025. Oh, he's going to be older than he is now. That's going to be different. Ryan Garcia just went off on Oscar and Hopkins at a press conference. Hey, appreciate that, Don. I definitely got to check it out. I would like to. I mean, were they there? Hold on. Let me try to pull this up. Right quick. Appreciate that drop, that ice drop, man. Appreciate that drop. Appreciate you. Y'all hold on for a second. I'm here. Hold on for a second, y'all. Interesting. Goddamn, Ryan Garcia is talking his shit. Ryan Garcia talking his shit, shouty. So let me get back to the chat. Appreciate y'all patience. Shit, goddamn. Ryan Garcia, first of all, said, Bernard Hopkins don't dictate when I'm gonna stop boxing, nigga. That's the only thing he left out. He didn't call him the N word. Why? Because it wouldn't have looked right when he said, I just want to invite the Holy Spirit into the room for this press conference. And he got right to it. I like that, Ryan. I appreciate that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You are what we call growing up a little bit from all that goofball shit you used to do. You're growing up. I get it. And you feel offended because at this point in time, you're growing up. You want people to treat you like you're growing up and treat your career like it's maturing also. I get it. I get it. I did hear Diddy James, but he's not the topic right now. Also, he told Oscar, who was standing behind him, that he was pretty much talking about it's in plain English, and what's being said. You know what I'm saying? The interpretation isn't flawed or any of that. It's in plain English, and I understand what y'all doing. Y'all trying to act like y'all picking opponents for me to lose. Y'all think Dono is gonna beat me and this, that, and the other. So when you're going at the machine, right, you have to go in there and make sure that you get the job done. So what he's saying is Oscar Duarte is picked to beat him. You know what I'm saying? And when you go in there, you can either have a substantial amount of damn motivation and drive and high energy and be driven. You know what I'm saying? Have a little bit more venom to the bite. You know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta have going in there and prove to the machine that no, I see you trying to get me closer to my demise. You're trying to encourage my demise by putting me in there with opposition that you think is gonna beat me. Hey, you know what I'm saying? But I look at it like this, Ryan. You look at your resume. You've been in there with some opponents that's considered mediocre at best. You know what I'm saying? Emmanuel Targo and Javier Fortuna, man, come on. Nobody ain't trying that shit. And then when you did step up, finally talking your way back into a fight with Tank, you get stopped. So I understand. I salute you for standing up for yourself and everything. It comes with maturity. But also you gotta look at your resume too, bro. Like, it's time for you to have big fights like this. You can't say, well, you just didn't get Tank. You got Tank, bro. And you got tanked. So you got tanked. Who tanked you? You know what I'm saying? He put you on the end of the freaking muzzle and he blasted you to the body and the fight was over. Were they picking you to win at that? Who knows? You just complaining about them not being at the press conference, and then you turn around and say they picking Oscar to beat you. Prove them wrong. Go against the machine and stop this dude. Goddamn, go beat him. Fight smart. Don't go in there loading up with your lead left hand or not. Don't be taking shit on Oscar and shit and acting like that's gonna help you in the ring. If it helps you with your desire to go in there and compete at a much more higher level right out from the opening bell, do that. Real talk, do it. But I appreciate that, Don. Real talk. Thanks for dropping that down ice over here, you know what I'm saying? LAB, man. Lost all the boxing on deck. What's good? He don't want that. He don't want that. Black Belt Ben, I'm seeing you in a minute, but you know what I'm saying? Jessica on that. I see you, Queen. What's good? Everybody else can see Lisa but me. That just ain't right, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, God damn, dog. I don't know why that's the case, bro. I went through all my shit for the blocks. I don't know why that's the case, why I can't see it. Seriously. He said, Ryan going over to TMT the minute that contract expires. It's not necessarily, look at it this way, too, Ben. Is it going to be a much better benefit? Or did him and Tank make a deal after he stopped him to say, hey, man, whenever your contract expires, come over there and we'll get you that money that you're looking for? Is that going to be it? I mean, is that finally going to be it for Ron? Is he going to get bigger fights? Because if they're going to give him bigger fights, he can't crash and burn like a lot of fighters did over there outside of Gervonta Davis. You know what I'm saying? I understand Rolly got gifted. Rolly got the best gift ever. When you want to talk about goddamn Thanksgiving parade and shit like that, you think of Rolly Romero, because he should be thankful the entire time the way he was gifted for Jackson Mariñez in Connecticut, and the way that mug was automatically set up here and fought Tank Davis and got knocked out in the 6th, and then went up to 140 pounds and got an immediate title shot where Tony Weeks stepped in. Ho, 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 Green Giant. You know what I'm saying? Tony Weeks stepped in there. Hey, don't worry about it, Roller. I got you from up here, dog. I got you. Stopped the fight because his goddamn grandpa was beating his ass on Thanksgiving because he goddamn tried to get his food before everybody else. He didn't even earn it correctly. So Barroso was in there goddamn beating his grandkid. And Tony Weeks stepped in there. Nope, that's not going to happen. No. You taking too much punishment. How? My hands are good. They was landing off his face. I know. You scrunched up. I saw your lash blink too many times, and I had to call the fight, buddy. You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up. But Rolly should be he should be thankful for Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Bruce, if it was a turkey in your yard, goddamn it, send that turkey over to goddamn Rolly Romero so they can have that shit for next year, because he deserved that. If any fighter got a gift, you know what I'm saying, the best gifts, plural, that they can get in boxing would be Rolando Romero. Nobody has been gifted better than Rolando. But to Tank Davis, man, respect to you, salute for you not accepting, the WBA gift. And everybody, I got to come back on a little later. I got to bounce. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Salute to everybody. Hold that shit down. And remember, El Chin Checker said, I don't want that shit. Peace. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.